are back on the Business Zone with Crystal.
And Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic.
Okay, so are you guys ready? Because as our guest is famous for saying, buckle our seats.
Fasten your seatbelt. Captain Dr. G's up in the house.
So this is our flight attendant, our flight pilot, our pilot.
Flight attendant.
I'm sorry. He's our pilot. He's a pilot who has the mind to want to raise us as a people to our wealth, right? Close that gap and become wealthy millionaires.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I want to raise up 1 million Captain Millionaires.
Okay, so let me tell you who this gentleman is. Meet your captain and learn about why he does what he does. So I'm gonna mess up your last name. You already know that,
right.
But it's Gerald A. Higginbotham. Okay.
Yay!
Also known as Captain Dr. G, that's what I call him, is the founder and the president of Captain Millionaires, Inc., a committed man of vision on a mission to raise 1 million Captain Millionaires. His goal is helping individuals and communities in their endeavor toward achieving and enjoying the highest quality of life. He spearheads the attainment of this goal through education, wealth building, and financial intelligence classes, business networking, dissemination of literature, and his steadfast commitment and determination to lift the standard of living in communities, starting with the individual, was birthed from many successful models of well-organized teamwork for the betterment of all. He has the heart of a servant and a phenomenal willingness to help whomever is called, wherever he's called upon. Let's go. This is your captain, Dr.
Captain Dr. G. Y'all, they mess up my last name. So that's why I'm having everyone just call me Captain Dr. G. Now, I deserve all those titles. I earned them. So I'm so excited about being on your show. Thank you for having me. And Crystal, it's time for us to go to another level.
I think it is.
We've been off course, and I know as a commercial airline captain, you can be 1 degree, forget that. You can be a 10th of a degree off course. You will not arrive at your destination.
Right.
I love asking people the question, what is your destination as you walk on the planet? Everybody want to tell me about heaven and all that. I said, no, as you walk on the planet. Because you do have a destination. Well, I want to do this. I want to do that. I said, no, you're telling me what you want to do. What is your destination?
And why is that question so hard for everyone to answer?
Because they haven't sat down and thought about it, and they haven't checked in with the Creator.
And could it be that they don't think that that's possible for them? Whatever they would like to have?
No, you can only do better when you know better.
That's true.
And so if you have never asked, there's 7 questions that you got to get answered.
Right.
It took me 36 years to get answered.
Right.
But I'm not going to go there today. Maybe that's on another show. But today, one of the questions, we got to ask the question, what is our destination?
Yeah.
What vehicle gets us there? How long will it take? How did we get in the present predicament that we're in today? And let me share with you your destination, because I want to get to the chase, because, I've been flying all day, and I'm back home in Los Angeles. And so let's just get started.
Okay.
Our destination can be found in Psalm 66:12.
Okay.
He said, I've called men to ride over your head. You've gone through fire and through water, but I brought you out into a wealthy place.
Yeah.
The destination as you walk on this planet is the wealthy place. Because if you're not headed to the wealthy place, you're headed to the poverty place. With God, you're either in or you're out, hot, cold, wise or fool. You're either about righteousness, unrighteousness. You're headed to the wealthy place or you're headed to the poverty place.
Preach, brother.
He said
preach.
in Proverbs 22:2, the rich and poor have this in common. He's the maker of them all. There's no middle class with God. Man made that stuff up during the industrial age. And now that we've shifted to the information age, it's a whole new ballgame. And so, y'all, repeat these words after me. Today's the day.
Today's the day.
I make the wealthy place.
I make the wealthy place.
My new destination.
My new destination.
It's been ordained.
It's been ordained.
Since the foundation of time.
Since the foundation of time.
By my Creator.
By my
And
Creator.
I'm going to line up my thoughts with His thoughts.
And I'm going to line up my thoughts with His thoughts.
I'm going to make His way my way.
I'm going to make His way my way.
I see myself right now.
I see myself right now.
Walking in the wealthy place.
Walking in that wealthy place.
And I tell you what, you have to say this piece because this really solidified. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
In Jesus Christ's name,
amen. And amen. Y'all better fasten your seatbelt. The wealthy
We're
place.
taking off.
Hey, the wealthy place is a place of perpetual increase where there is no lack in any area of your life. If you got lack in your life, you're not walking in the wealthy place.
That's right.
There's 10 areas to the wealthy place. And you want a 10 in each one of them. One is health, one is wisdom, one is knowledge, one is relationship, one is career. Those are all the 10 areas that you want to get a 10 in. Now, I set up the Captain's Millionaire online training program because it's time to move us out of poverty.
Yeah.
And then we took it to another level.
Yeah.
I added the cryptocurrency piece to it. Because, see, with us shifting from an industrial-based society to the new information age, it's a new paradigm that we're in.
Yeah.
And anytime you shift in system, so does the economic system change. Y'all remember the agriculture age. What drove that economy? The slaves, free labor. I'm so glad we're not in that era no more, y'all.
Well, we kind of, we are, some of us are, some of us are.
Yeah, you're right. Not physical slavery, but economic slavery.
Yeah, right.
And so
And mine. Don't,
mentally,
Yeah.
some of us are still on the plantation.
Yeah.
Can I say that on your show?
Yeah, you can.
They're on the plantation. I stopped by today to tell them, get on board the vehicle.
Yeah.
We're boarding right now, heading to the wealthy places.
So effective today, they're going to be runaway slaves.
They're going to be runaways. And hey, we done pulled by, they can get on board the Captain's Millionaire vehicle, and we'll carry them to the wealthy place. Y'all, it's past time for change.
Yeah.
Dr. King has been dead now over 51 years, and we still out here talking about we're going to march and we're going to overcome. No, today's the day we're going to overcome.
All right.
We just have not had the right information. And the only difference between rich people and poor people, would you like to know the difference?
The mindset.
Words.
Access.
No, words. Words. Rich people got a rich vocabulary. Pookie and Jumbo got a poem. And so we got to change our words. And we got to learn the language of the rich. We got to learn the language of the wealthy. And so I want to tell your group here, y'all, come on, let's go. You know, you're either going to go first class in life, business class, or economy. You have a choice to make. And if you go out to the Captain Millionaire Training Program, you can do that today. It's time to go.
How do you get them started? What do they need to do first?
They need to go www.captains with the S on it, millionaires with the S on it, .net, and then sign up for the program because this online training is going to help you have a Captain Millionaire training.
So when they go there, are they going to see those 10 steps that you're talking about?
No, what's going to happen when they go out there, they're going to see me out there. They'll be able to sign in the program and begin to learn principles.
Yeah.
Like, for example, here, these are have you guys ever been on board an airplane?
Yeah.
Get on board the jet. Guess what you're going to have to go through? TSA.
3 foundations, though.
You got to go through TSA. You can't get on board the jet. And so TSA in my training program stands for Think, Speak, and Act. Because your thought life controls your life. And whatever you think, you're going to speak. Whatever you speak, you're going to act on it, and it produces the result. So we've had the wrong information.
Yeah.
We've been powerless, and we now have to become empowered. And so training. These are the 15 principles.
Yeah.
You got to know this stuff here, family. I'm telling you, when you have this information, it will change your life forever.
So let me see. So some of the principles.
Now, don't give them all away. They got to come through the training.
Okay, yeah, but there's the thinking principles.
Yep.
And you're going to learn how to make
decisions. You're going to learn how to have a direction.
Okay.
You're going to have to learn to understand purpose. You got to understand to set goals, and then you got to understand about being calm.
Yeah.
Knowing that these goals are going to come to pass because you done set them in place. And that's just the thinking principles. Then there's the speaking principle, where you're going to learn about confidence.
Okay.
You're going to know that you know that you know that you'll know that you're going to make this happen.
Okay.
Then you're going to have to learn make these affirmations, because see, your confession equal your possession. You have what you say. Now, if you don't like what you've been getting, change your speaking. And so you got to be able to visualize. You know, when I was younger, Crystal, I'm originally from Watts, California. I'm a product of the ghetto.
Yeah.
I used to see these airplanes going over. I said, I see myself up there flying that big jet. And I stand before you today as the captain for the largest airliner in the world, flying that big bad boy. I just flew in from Santa Ana, from Dallas today. I came over at 38,000 feet, and I was sitting up there saying, you know
this
what?
This is your captain speaking.
I said, this is your captain speaking. We got 1 hour left into the flight. It's been a real slice of heaven having y'all on board today. Hope you enjoyed the flight. You know what? I'm living the dream. And a lot of folks don't get a chance to live their dream.
That's true. That's true.
And so I'm living the dream, and I don't want to wake up. But I'm in the last part of the dream now.
Yeah.
To begin to help fix our communities.
And that's where you're going to slide it into the cryptocurrency, huh?
The whole Captain Millionaire process, the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Seriously now. But the cryptocurrency process is just the economic engine.
Right.
I have the gold coin, which is Bitcoin's granddaughter. It's the third generation coin that came out of Litecoin here, and it happened back in March of 2015. So it's originally one of the first 5 cryptocurrencies. Now, what's so exciting about this here, we're about to have a reverse block fork. And I want to encourage all your listeners to go out to goldcoin.org and see what we're about to do. They're about to become a merger with Bitcoin, and Goldcoin will become the leading chain. Why? Because it is so faster than Bitcoin, 21 times faster. Bitcoin takes you anywhere from a half an hour to 45 minutes for a transaction to take place. Goldcoin is almost 2 seconds.
Why is that?
Because of Bitcoin is like the Model T Ford. It was the first one out, and so it cannot scale off-chain and on-chain versus Goldcoin can. And so having this reverse block fork is totally different. We're making history. Most people block away from Bitcoin. We're reversing, coming back to help Grandpa.
And let's talk about that for a second. Why is it that some people, they move away from it?
Well, because
it's new, they don't trust it.
No, that has nothing to do with it. You know, people see how I can be able to create something better or different for what you're doing. What I'm using Goldcoin as, it will become it's already a global currency now. I have it up and running in just about 60 countries are using Goldcoin.
Yeah.
And so my heart is to help our urban areas.
Yeah.
Right now, Goldcoin today is trading at 7 cents a coin. I see it in the next, I would say in the next 18, 24 months, trading at the same price of gold. Right now, with the U.S. economy, the dollar's sinking. It's tanking. Okay. But gold is starting to rise.
Right.
But how are you going to carry gold around? It's too bulky and heavy. Yeah. But having the new Goldcoin cryptocurrency, having it on your phone, you can be able to electronically transfer coins just like this right now. Yeah. And it's right now, Bitcoin is trading at $10,000 a coin. It's more expensive than gold.
Now, I think part of the reason why people are a little skeptical about Bitcoin is because they've heard how one day it could be at a certain level, and then the next day it's at a lower level, and it just moves just like that.
Well, let's talk about that.
It scares a lot of people that way.
Well, let's talk about that. If 10 years ago, it was trading at half a penny a coin.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you got there 10 years ago when it was trading at a half a penny a coin, that you took the risk.
Yeah.
And today now it's trading at $10,000 a coin. Yeah. It hasn't lost anything. It's just how we've been looking at it when you came into the process.
And that's it. That's it. So we want to shape the way people look at it and how they perceive it. Because as you know, this society is a copycat society. Everybody, they want to do things because everybody else is doing it. They don't want to be original. They don't want to be the first one to do it. So how do we get that mindset into looking at things from an alternative standpoint?
I'm so glad, yes. That's the reason why I set up the Captain's Millionaire Training Program. Yeah. Because when you come through this program, you're going to think differently, speak differently, and act differently because it's based on solid principles, foundational principles. We got to have the educational piece first. Yeah. You know, the Word of God says in Proverbs 132b, the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. And so wealth, prosperity will take you out. It took out other folks, like, I won't use their name, I'll just see there's been a lot of singers that have had a lot of money, and it has really taken them out. They're not around today because they didn't have the wisdom. And with us shifting from an industrial-based society to the information age, we can literally create a new civilization from the bottom up right now.
How does one develop the wisdom, though? Because some people are born with wisdom, and some people have to learn it.
Well, wisdom is the ability to think like how God thinks.
Yeah.
Understanding is to do what he would do in a situation. And so all wisdom comes from our Creator.
Right. But some people don't have the ability, though, to really see and perceive and comprehend things we do.
Well, let me share this with you. And I have this old saying, run with those that's got your answer, get away from those that's got your problem.
Right. So we got to teach them how to run with those. Right.
And we're telling them now, we done set up the Captain's Millionaire Training Program where they can come through, they can learn. We now have an environment where we can learn, unlearn, and relearn, and now be empowered. Yeah. Where we are right now in history would be like at the turn of the century. Yeah. When, say for instance, you was riding in horse and buggies. And I came along in the Model T Ford and splashed water on you. Yeah. What would you think? You would say, I want one of those cars. I got to have one, even though There was no gas station, no mechanics shops, just the idea to have the opportunity. And that's where we are with cryptocurrency. When you're able to see it. Now, I'm going to say this here, the Bitcoin opportunity is gone. Now, everybody don't have no most folks don't have no $10,000. However, but the gold coin is the next wave. And we're using this as a tool to begin to move us from poverty, ignorance, dependency, and complacency to knowledge, wealth, and power. Knowledge is a source to power. Wealth is a source to power. We've been in a powerless state for far too long. And so we got to change our thinking, change our speaking, and change how we've been acting. And the only way that you can get rid of risks, and you'll never get rid of risks because risks represent opportunity. But if you got the knowledge and you understand what it is, what it's not. And in my Captain Millionaire training program, I set up a whole piece just on understanding cryptocurrency. Because you mentioned blockchain technology. When you came by my office, you were like, oh, what is this? What is this here? And I said, Crystal, please, don't let these folks play you. The blockchain is nothing but a public accounting record system. You can't cheat it. It knows where every coin is, even though it doesn't know who has it.
So it's more like a tracking system. It's
Well,
not
it's like,
really...
I guess the way I equate it is like the stock market. It's like the New York Stock Exchange. It tracks every dollar and every stock share that is out there that's being bought and traded throughout the daily, right?
For example, gold coin has a blockchain. Generally, every cryptocurrency have a blockchain. And the purpose of it is to keep the counting record of where the coins are. I mean, it's really simple. It's nothing hard. It's nothing spooky. I think blockchain technology is going to take over the world in other areas as well, from medicine to the doctor's office, because it keeps accurate records.
Okay. So I think part of the reason why a lot of people haven't jumped on this yet is because, one, they don't understand it, and two, no one has really explained it in such a simple form. You know, they say, make it so simple that a 10-year-old can understand. No one has done that yet. So in your captain's program, I don't know much about it.
I've made it so simple.
That's what I'm saying.
You'd have to be deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, and then pay somebody to help you to misunderstand it.
But that's the same thing with the stock market, right? We didn't understand that, which is why we didn't create wealth. Because when we look at wealthy people, people of other nationalities don't look like us, their money has come through real estate, but their real fluid inheritance, but they're real. But even there are those that have made big money without the inheritance, right? Coming from the stock market, right?
Do you really want to go there on your show? The reason why?
Well, that's just to simplify.
Now, do you really want to go there on this show? But you know the real reason why.
Yeah, I do understand the real reason.
We're still dealing with the after effect of slavery.
Right, exactly.
Hey, they kicked us off the plantation here 158 years ago. They didn't teach us about economics or how to enter mainstream America. No. We've been struggling for the last 158 years.
Yeah.
That's the real reason why, and they're hoping that you figure this out. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. We done figured it out. And so therefore, people come to this training, their lives is never ever going to be the same.
I'm listening to an audiobook called Black Fortunes, I just finished that up. I'm now listening to Gregory's book, which is actually amazingly interesting. But this one was a woman right after slavery. Her name was Mary Ellen Pleasant. And her husband had acquired his wealth, both freed slaves, acquired that right after the emancipation was signed, and they became free men and women. He acquired land, and that's how he created his wealth, right? And then he died.
Did he sell pieces of the land? How did he?
Well, he put houses on them and he rented them out through commercial, right? But then when he died, but he also filtered his monies back in to help the cause, to free other slaves and to help them create a life for themselves. So when he died, he left his wealth to her, his legacy to her, and told her to carry it on. So she had it, and she was doing that, and she was helping a guy named John Brown. I think you guys have ever heard. He was.
I heard of him.
You've heard of him, right? So John Brown, but he was careless and he took a lot of risk, and he ended up getting killed because he was getting ready to go to do a whole raid and the whole thing, right? She then took her money. This is when the gold rush took place in California in the West. She took her money and she came west. And she opened up a cafe, and she listened to all the prospectors talk about how they were going to make their money and how they were growing their money. And she grew that money to become a millionaire.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Let me give you the secret to wealth creation.
Yes.
Wealth is only created through the ownership of land, labor, and capital that puts you in control of the production and distributions of goods and or services. And it is exchange of the goods and service through business ownership is how wealth is created. And wealth is a source to power. That was part of the industrial age system.
Yeah.
And so that process is still there. Now that we're in the information age, knowledge is now the primary source of capital. It's more important than money. Because when you have the knowledge, you know how to create the Captain's Millionaire Training Program. You know how to raise up 1 million millionaires. You'll know how to create better communities because of having the knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge is more important than money. Because when you have the knowledge, you can know how to take $1 and create 60 with it.
Right.
But the issue has been we were never taught financial education, or
Right.
how to be financial illiterate. Yeah, we focus on academic education. I got 2 doctor's degrees. I'll give you one if you need one.
Can I lease it?
I'll lease it to you, but at a price. Though.
At a price.
I got the entrepreneur spirit. But what we didn't, we have professional education. Our school system taught us. We learn about money at home. What did our parents tell us to do? Go to school, get you a good education so you can get you a good what?
Job.
And you know what job stands for, don't you?
Yeah.
J-O-B?
Yeah.
Just over bottom. Because if you lose your job, you go back to the bottom. And so long as you have a job, you cannot become...
I've never heard that
Wealthy.
one before.
Well-
Just over bottom.
Oh, that's a true statement. And so what we have to begin to do, we're going to have to cross over to the wealthy place.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing called the Cashflow Quadrant, where the ESBI, everybody on that left side of the quadrant struggles or loses, and everybody on the B&I side, big business and investors, they win. And so all the tax laws are set up for the right side of the quadrant. So I ask people, what side of the quadrant you want to be on? You got to make a decision. And so hopefully they say, Captain, I want to be in the I quadrant. And that's where I bring them quickly using gold coin,
Investments, right?
investment, and being empowered.
So since we have only 10 minutes left on this show, walk us through real quickly, the audience, real quickly, how cryptocurrency can help them and what they need to do.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yes.
Normally, I would have everyone come through the Captain's Millionaire Training Program because it has the component in there for cryptocurrency and also to help to develop them personally.
Yeah.
It's about personal development.
Yeah.
Because see, you can get it. I can give you $1 million a day
Yeah.
without having the knowledge. You'll be broke and in trouble with the IRS.
It's that infrastructure that we talked about. They got to have that
You got to
infrastructure.
have the knowledge. Knowledge
Foundation.
base is critical.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
Yeah.
The second piece is then you need to find a cryptocurrency that has a cause that you can agree with. For
Like
example,
what? Give me an example.
For example, the gold coin.
Yeah.
The purpose of the gold coin is to be a universal currency that everybody can use to their benefit. Like one of the things I'm doing here in Los Angeles, I have over 250 businesses that I'm connecting with that they'll begin to use the gold coin as a medium of exchange. And there's a 4 million market here in this area. And I'm going to see to it that all 4 million people start using gold coin. You know, the Federal Reserve, I love them. However, I've learned about there's a group called the Berkshires out of Berkshire Society, which have their own medium of exchange in addition to a national currency.
That's part of, what's his name? Their richest man in the world. What's his name?
Solomon.
No, not in the world. Here in the U.S. What's his name? A little short, older dude.
Oh, Soros.
No. He's friends
George?
with Hillary Clinton and... Anyway.
George Soros?
Well,
I thought George Soros was the...
yeah, he's a rich fellow too.
Yeah.
He's rich.
Yeah.
But what we got to do now is take control of our communities. We got to keep the dollar in the community and stop the profit flight.
Yeah.
Right.
And having gold coin, we began to use gold coin as our medium of exchange. It'll create more value for the community. Okay. And right now I'm trying to tell all my students, and even if you don't become a Captain Millionaire, I would love for you to do that program, but to go out to trygoldcoin.com and begin to download you a wallet for your phone and then start buying the coins, especially while they're 6, 7 cents right now.
Goldcoin.com, right?
Goldcoin.org.
.org.
Or try goldcoin.com, either one of those. Those are sites we've set up. I'm on a mission to move us from poverty, ignorance, dependency, and complacency to knowledge, wealth, and power.
Okay, so your class, how long does it last?
It depends on you because it's online. You can start training right now.
Yeah.
If you go out to www.captainsmillionaire.net and pay your fee, you got to make a choice.
How much is the fee?
Well, it's $29.97 if you go in economy class, and if you go
Coach.
if you go in coach, they need to go out there. No, you're laughing, but go out there.
So you know the airlines has gotten to the a la carte menu.
Yeah, a la carte.
What can I say? I work at the airline industry.
There's the a la carte menu.
So $29.97 to start.
$29.97. So I want everybody to come through this training.
Yeah.
And then if they want more, they can upgrade to business class, which is $99 for each one of the little modules.
Yeah.
Or you can get first class and get it for $299.97, where you get the whole caboodle.
Is it one time only or?
One time only.
So each one of those prices is one time only. So
No, not for the business class. The business class is a la carte because it has the think, speak, act training.
Yeah.
And each one of those modules are basically $99 each.
Okay, I see.
But the purpose of this here is to begin to empower the people.
Yeah.
We've been off course.
Yeah.
And we have to change.
Yeah.
We can't keep doing what we've been doing because we'll keep getting the same result. And the definition of insanity, madness, crazy, or
Doing the
stupidity,
same thing over and over.
expecting a different outcome.
Right.
How we have no excuse because this is your captain speaking. I've spent the last 10 years just alone working on this piece. You know, just moving back home from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been out there for the last 30 years, and I've been blessed to come back home now to help my community. I've been on a mission now 51 years, and today's what is today? The 6th? 51 years, 5 months, and 2 days.
Yeah.
Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated that day when I accepted the call when our community in Watts burned down for the second time.
Wow.
And so I've been laser and razor sharp focused, and we are ready to go. We are boarding.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I want you to look into that camera. Let's see which one. This one right here. And tell the audience how can they get started, what they need to do in order to get started, and how easy it is.
It's really simple. www.captainsmillionaires.net. And when you go out there, you'll see some videos. Matter of fact, check your brother out. Got a lot of information out there for you. I've got my online, this is your captain, live from the sky. A lot of information out there for you so you can begin to help empower you, inform you, so we can begin to bring about the change. This piece is critical in our life right now, and we're at a 400-year cycle right now. And by being a part of this piece here, you're going to come out with great substance. I'll just leave it at that.
And it's very important because that 400 years is very significant. And I was listening to something, and someone that was talking about, because people say that slavery was only a couple hundred years ago, but you have to include the Jim Crow, you have to include
all of it.
Civil rights, you got to include
never
all
stopped.
of it. It never stopped, and it has stopped us. Because we didn't have all the knowledge and the tools in order to move forward. Some of us were blessed to recognize opportunities and had the critical thinking to say, hey, I can do this without the fear. A lot of us, what I find is we operate out of fear, and that keeps us from reaching our potential and a better life, right?
Crystal, you knocked a grand slam home run. I like this saying, those who fear no truth, they're not bound by the truth. Because it's only knowing truth is what makes you free. Knowing the lie and correct data keeps you in bondage. And we've been in bondage far too long mentally. I don't fear nothing. I hang out at 41,000 feet. That's a hostile environment up there. But it's also a hostile environment here on the ground. But we now have processes in place to catapult us to the wealthy place. It is our turn and it's our time. they need to go out to www.captainmillionaire.net and enroll in the program. Hit boarding now.
I love it. I'm going to have to check out that site because I really want to see what it's about.
And, and it's interesting because when you think about what you do for a living, for even what we do for a living, we take a risk every single day.
Every day.
Whereas most of us or most Americans are at a safe job with a safe check coming on what they think is perceived to be safe, a check coming in every 2 weeks or whatever, right?
Security.
Right. That's what they're thinking. But those of us that are entrepreneurial, we make our own. We make things happen.
We have
to make things happen.
Have to take risks.
And getting up in a plane how much does a plane weigh?
My airplane today, when I launched out of today I weighed only 164,000, something like that.
But you have how many passengers?
I had 170 folks under my watch.
So that means that that their lives were in your hands.
Look what I do.
Look what you do.
I move folks from A to B. And this is the same process to move us from poverty to the wealthy place.
Right, exactly.
But you got to pay your fare. You can't get on board that jet unless you pay your fare.
Right,
and you can't get on board that jet unless you come through TSA.
You
if
absolutely
the captain got to come through TSA, everybody got to come through TSA.
Exactly.
And so they're going to have to come through TSA through my Captain Millionaire online training program.
Right.
But here's what's going to happen for them. Their lives will never, ever be the same again because they now will have the information. Once this mind get expanded, it doesn't retract. You're going to want more. And here's one thing that I learned from one of my leaders, mentors. He told me, Doc, when you begin to feed the people and give them the right information, they're yours forever because they will take this information and they'll keep coming back because it's good.
And they'll share it with others.
We're in the information age, family. Marching, having our hand out, that day's not going to work anymore. We now have to become interdependent and we got to work through each other. Just why I'm so honored that you allowed me to be on your show today. This is like interdependency. You sharing this information and wanting to get it out to the people. Not independent, because you know what? You could have said, no, Dr. G, I ain't having you on my show. But no, what you have is valuable and the people need to hear it so it can change their lives. And you can never help another man without helping yourself. And I want to just say thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show, to be able to take the folks at least up to 38,000.
That's right, man. That's right. Well, see, this is what this platform is about. It's to disseminating information to small businesses so that they can elevate themselves. And that's what we do here every week on this show.
And that's speaking of small business, and this is important because 95% of all small business fail within the first
3 years.
Somebody told me first year. And I said, okay, you went there.
We'll be conservative and call it 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. But what we want to do is now take the small business and teach them how to become big business. Because see, everybody on the right side of the quadrant, the tax laws are for their favor. That's how you get rich, understanding the tax laws. And through this Captain Millionaire process, and as we begin to put it in our communities, this is just the first phase. The next phase, y'all haven't seen nothing when we start creating the cooperative businesses for the community.
See, that's the part I want to get in on.
But you got to come through TSA.
You got to come through TSA first.
Can't meet you. There are no shortcuts. That's what he's saying. There's no shortcut. And we've been on a shortcut, actually, trying to get it without the education, without shoring up the foundation, right? We say that to businesses all the time. You can't start a business and think you're gonna take the shortcut. I'm gonna skip step 5, and then I'm gonna jump right to step 6.
Imagine me doing that in the airplane.
No, I don't want to imagine that.
We'd have an issue.
Exactly.
I gotta read a checklist. I got checklist after checklist from the time I walk on board that airplane to walk around it. Everything is process oriented. And that's the other thing that I want the guests to come through this program. Because what we got to become is Captain Dr. G 8 Ps. We got to become principle, purpose, process, precision, people, priority, prosperity, philosophy driven. That's what we have to become. Because when we become that, we're principle centered. We can really accelerate when we have those things as our foundation.
Exactly.
I wish we had more time on this show, Dr. G, to really disseminate more of your information, extract more of your information and share it with these folks. But unfortunately, the clock is...
You have a show as well.
Yes.
Okay.
But my show, I'm so excited about being in the studio.
Yeah.
As I was sitting back there, I said, you know what? This is probably, I need to bring my show and bring it home and bring it here to the studio.
You should, man. You
So
should.
we're going to have to have you have a conversation.
I'm going to have a conversation
with Miss Felicia.
Because
Yes.
you know what? I want to bring Captain Dr. G live from the sky up in the studio.
And the thing about it is they're going to post it on YouTube, so it will be there all the time. You know, people get to see it all the time.
Awesome.
So that's a
we'll
good
have
thing,
you.
man.
We'll set that up and have you have a conversation, because I think what you're talking about is the conversation and that needs to be had, especially in our community.
Right.
And I've said this. One of the reasons that we gave birth to the Business Zone was because the more we hear repetitively over and over
Yes.
about how to do business, how to
Not business. Business.
and how to structure and all the opportunities and why we do what we do, eventually it's going to click. It's it's marketing, right?
It is.
Right.
And you create the environment for success.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do here.
Yeah.
And I see here, I'm so honored really to be on the show, to be able to connect with the audience.
Yeah.
Because we're going to work together.
Yeah.
I mean, it says teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah.
And now that we have our own economic engine we can put in place here, we can begin to empower the people. Those that's listening, I want you to go out there and be a part of the training, because the goal and objective here, I want to raise up 500 new millionaires over the next 90 to 180 days.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to become millionaires? This is your captain speaking.
So what we're going to do, we didn't come, our hour is up, but what we're going to do is when I plug in your information for Captain Millionaire,
That'd be awesome.
the course, so that you guys can sign up to take you and your family to the next level, take you up through 38,000 feet,
right.
That's what
so
we're
that
talking
you
about.
can ensure legacy for your children.
Positive legacy.
And positive. And so that's one of the things I had said at the beginning of the show was, how do we preserve this world for our children? And
Amen.
I think you have one of the solutions,
Yes.
and we need to make sure that we embrace that, because
Amen.
the first step, it has to happen up here with our mind.
And then come down into the pocketbook.
Well, in between that, the education. So you
No, that's mine. That's part of the education.
That's part of education. So the mindset, the education, and then increasing the pocketbook. So I think we've had a great show, and we thank you so much for being on this show. And we definitely will, because this is a topic that we have to have like all the time. We should be having this conversation
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7.
Because we're behind the 8 ball.
We're way. Well, what did they say when I said at the beginning? By 2053, that our net worth will be zero. That's not even.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. But if I have something to say about it,
Yeah.
because see, God says whatever that we bind on earth
Right,
shall be
exactly.
bound in heaven.
Right.
So I'm binding that we will be wealthy and prosperous,
Prosperous.
and we'll leave a positive legacy, benefit those coming behind us.
I hear that.
Run behind you 100%.
I hear that.
Anything coming up real quick?
Well, I've got a workshop on Tuesday with the Elite Veterans Association over in Bell Gardens. This is an Edge workshop with Edison. So it's going to be from 12 to 3 over in Bell Gardens. So it's going to be a good one.
Okay, and on Tuesday I have the Recycling Black Dollars. We have the breakfast mixer at Denny's at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Still doing it at Denny's?
Yeah, we're still doing it at Denny's momentarily. So we'll be there, and we have Mr. Jerry Foster, who is the branding expert. So he's going to be there talking on how to create a brand and how that brand can create money in your pocket.
Excellent.
So we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Friday. You are tuned in to the Business Zone with Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Remember, we're on here every Friday from 3 to 4.
All righty. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a great weekend.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.